Hey, what's going on, everybody? You guys are tuning to episode number 147 of the Weekly Give and Go, brought to you by thehoopdoctors.com. I go by the name of Kevin Burke. Is this the new Russell Westbrook? Should we get used to a Russell Westbrook who will continually have to battle knee injuries? He's out again, as you know, until after the All-Star break with essentially, right, a reoccurring knee injury. This all began last year during the playoffs when the Rockets were facing the Thunder and Patrick Beverley ran into Russell Westbrook accidentally but stupidly, trying to reach for the steal as Westbrook was about to call a timeout. You know the play by now. They said back then Westbrook was going to be back by the finals should the Thunder get there, but of course he had surgery then. He rehabs all summer, misses the beginning of the season with another surgery, and now needs surgery again. This is three. It's different than like a Rose or a Rondo where those injuries came on non-contact. This is from contact, so it's regarded a little differently. But still in all, a guy whose game is predicated on speed and agility and explosion. I mean, this is not a good look. I don't know if when he comes back what he will be, but is he going to be a guy who we now have to watch over because of this reoccurring knee injury? And before that injury that he sustained by way of the contact with Patrick Beverley, Westbrook never ever in his career missed a game due to injury in pros or in college at UCLA. Keep an eye on that. A few months ago, the Toronto Raptors brought in Drake to essentially be the de facto face of the franchise, almost to make the team, more cool, to help their appeal. Similar to what, the Nets did with Jay-Z, although the dynamic is completely different because Jay-Z was a part owner, whereas Drake is on the payroll of the Raptors, so the dynamic is a little different. But the overarching theme is the same. Each of those guys were supposed to bring a level of cool and make the team cooler. Now, I don't know if, Drake's appeal or Drake's impact in Toronto is the same as Jay's in Brooklyn. I don't know. I don't know much about Toronto. I've never been to the lovely city of Toronto. But I do have a sense, or I do have a good take on what Jay did to the Nets. Now, fast forward to a few days ago, the Raptors may undergo a rebranding because of essentially Drake's input. He wants to change the colors. He may change it to black and gold, a color scheme that I guess he has with his own brand, that OVO brand. I don't know. I'm just saying, my point in all this is, as popular as Drake is in Toronto, he has equally as many, if not more, detractors. So I would just caution the Raptors to go full in, to push all the chips in the middle of the table with Drake backing them. Listen, this is not any sort of opinion, yay or nay, the way I feel about him. I'm just saying, speaking from somebody on the outside looking in, I caution them pushing all their Drake chips to the middle of the table because of, again, the man does have a lot of detractors, and who knows how this will be taken largely. Speaking of another point guard who is injury prone, I think we can say that now about Kyrie Irving, who just sustained a knee contusion or a knee bruise, and he is now day-to-day. His left knee buckled the other day, and I thought it was those three letters. You know the ones, the A to the C to the L. Had an MRI, and it was only a knee contusion or a knee bruise. But this man he's day-to-day. He's definitely injury prone. He hasn't gone through a full year since Duke without an injury. At Duke, he had that foot problem and was still drafted number 1 to his credit. And then with the Cavs, remember, he broke his hand by way of slapping a padded wall out of frustration. Seriously. He always wears his face mask because something's going on with his face. I forget what that's all about. Now his knee. Hopefully Kyrie can remain healthy because he has the skill set and the tool set to be the best, I'll say, offensive point guard, because I don't think he hasn't really developed his passing game to the point where I think he could be in the a two-way point guard, if you will, in terms of assists, and being a real floor general. But anyway, I digress. Watch out for Kyrie and his injury. His injuries scare me more than any other player in the league because they come so fast and so furious, and he's kind of a frail body. I hope this is something he can get over, but I'm not optimistic as far as that's concerned. So I got podcast number 147 in the books. You guys be good. I'll check you out next week.